Hey folks, it's Rob Chappell, Executive Editor, Madison 365, and co-host of the 365 Amplified podcast. I have to jump in before we get started because we recorded this episode on Thursday morning, as we always do. We talked about Charles Myadze, the Madison Common Council alderman, who was censured officially, became the first ever Madison Alder who was censured by the city council. We talked about that. We talked about his interview with me on Sunday. After we recorded the episode, Charles was arrested, which you may have seen at madison365.org or some other news outlet. A lot of news outlets reported that because it's kind of a big deal when a sitting alder gets arrested. He is arrested on felony charges, and here's the charges. We don't know the details of these charges at this moment, which is about 11 o'clock on Thursday evening. Charles is due in court on Friday, so I'm hoping we'll get more detail on these charges. There are 4 charges of strangulation, and 1 charge each of false imprisonment, battery with substantial bodily harm, burglary, attempted burglary, and burglary battery on person. I'm not sure what that last one means. I think it means battery during the commission of a burglary. Now, it's not clear at this moment who has brought these charges. I know he was arrested by Madison police. He was booked into Dane County Jail. It is reasonable to suspect that these charges are related to the allegations made by Gloria Reyes, who you'll hear we talked about in the episode. She's the former police detective and deputy mayor who most recently alleged that Charles abused her during their relationship all the way up until 2021. And when he knocked her unconscious, she says, right just after Thanksgiving 2021, after he'd been in office on the city council for 7 months already. In our interview Sunday, when he decided to talk to me, he said that her allegations were, and this is a quote, somewhat not true. So it's also possible that there's some other person who he has abused in this way that has never been public before. And those charges might be related to that unknown person. So we'll find out. I hope we'll find out today, Friday, when he's arraigned. And we don't see any, I don't see any charges filed on online court records. I see the charges in the arrest record, but not the court records. So we don't have those charges filed by the district attorney at this moment. I'm hoping that we'll see that, and we could possibly get like the police report that led to these charges, and we'll get more information again on Friday, I hope. And we will stay on top of this story as it develops. All right, now on to this week's podcast.
This is Stephanie Diaz de Leon.
This is Robin May Benting.
This is Omar Wahid.
And this is Rob Chappell.
And it's 365 Amplified. Welcome back, everybody. We were just discussing the weather and how disrespectful it is.
Disrespectful, borderline racist.
I don't disagree because my hands are very dry. Like my skin is really dry. Like nothing.
Getting a little ashy.
See?
Which is also why I wore a long sleeve shirt, because my elbows look like alligator skin.
You're like, I'm ashamed of my elbows.
My nail lady just silently handed me a tube of lotion at the end of the session.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh!
You can have this.
She was like silently be like, no, I'm not from here. Look at my skin.
I'm
you
so
know.
dry.
so dry and so mad. Like I woke up with my face feeling really dry, and I can't handle it.
It's rough.
It is rough.
CeraVe.
I know. It works.
I actually switched to an olive oil soap, and it has been making my
Oh.
skin very hydrated,
Except for your elbows.
except for my elbows, which is
There's nothing to do about that.
There's
because
nothing.
they bend, they have more action.
Mm.
Whereas out the skin.
Okay, whatever excuses we can come up with.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move into the first story we want to talk about this morning, Rob.
Yeah, I got a surprising call on Friday.
You
Last
did.
week after
Was it Friday or was it no?
It was,
Or
no, it was
Saturday?
Saturday that I got
It was
the call. That's right.
Saturday because we were.
That's right. I got a very surprising call on
Uh-huh.
Saturday that Charles Myadze wanted to talk to me.
Mhm.
We've been covering him and his allegations against him of domestic violence and sexual harassment for 10 months now.
Yep.
And to be fair, he has provided statements basically denying the allegations, most of the allegations. He
Mhm.
did not respond to the
To some of
allegations
them.
from Gloria Reyes,
Yeah.
but from the other ones he did, he just basically denied them, but never really gave his side. And he decided he wanted to, in part because city council was poised to vote on a censure resolution
Mhm.
on Tuesday. So I met with Charles on Sunday. It was a good conversation. That the result of that was I posted Monday, so we'll link to that.
Mhm.
He continued to deny
Certain
being violent
aspects, yeah.
and stuff, but did give a little bit of context. Not
From
that- from his
perspective
perspective,
and from what he,
yeah,
Yeah.
not that
he
I
didn't
guess you-
provide evidence of something to negate or give like specifics in certain ways.
right. No, there's nothing. He didn't really, at least to me, didn't specifically refute
Mm-hmm.
anything. But did try to sort of cast some aspersion on the survivors.
Mm.
And he kind of said, I don't want to do that. I don't like to talk bad about my exes and stuff, but also, they're saying this about me, so I got to say this about them. And it was,
Wow.
none of it would have excused violence.
Yeah.
But so, and I kind of pushed him on that a little bit, and he didn't
Respond and
really respond.
yeah.
He didn't say, and therefore I had to hit them, anything like that. But kind of left that alone.
Mhm.
But continued to deny, I should say, that he was violent. Also spoke directly to the sexual harassment allegations,
Mhm.
which were there was a let's back up a minute. The domestic violence allegations were never investigated by any official
No.
government. They were investigated by me.
Yeah.
There were 3 allegations of sexual harassment that were investigated by a third party that was hired by the city.
Mhm.
And those investigations found that the preponderance of evidence indicated that the allegations, which were mostly like lewd comments and
Mhm.
unwanted touching and things like that, preponderance of evidence, meaning more likely than not, those things actually happened.
Yep.
But
They didn't rise to the level
Right.
of impropriety based on the definition
Mhm.
of harassment, right?
Right.
The legal definition that it is, or the policy definition, I guess,
Yes.
is really what it is. The policy definition
Right.
the city of Madison has
Right.
at the moment, right?
right, which meant this didn't qualify as sexual
definition.
harassment
By
by that
definition.
definition.
Yes.
And it did not create a hostile work environment for the fellow alder or the city employee or the person who's not a city employee.
Yeah.
Who are all different
By
people.
that definition.
By their definition, exactly
Yes.
right. However, as we reported a couple weeks ago, the city council still wanted to pass a censure resolution,
Mhm.
understanding that there was, so by the definitions of things, those policies weren't violated, but these things actually happened, probably, which is unbecoming of an alder. So we're just
Yeah.
going to
And these incidents happened while as an older.
while he was an alder.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what was before the city council. That's what he wanted to talk about. He thought that was unfair. Also, we should say Mayor Citrus Conway removed him from all his committee appointments and put forward replacements. She has the authority to do that without common council approval. Basically, common council is basically an up or down vote on appointments.
Mhm.
So what was before the council on Tuesday was replacements to those committees that passed with a 12-4 vote. And then the censure resolution, which which doesn't really do anything. It's sort of
Yeah.
a public statement that we think this was bad behavior.
That we as a council think it's bad behavior.
Yes.
Yeah. We're
yes.
just making a statement here.
Yes, exactly right.
Mhm.
That passed with a 13-2 vote, with only Charles himself and Isidore Knox voting no.
And two.
Nazra Wahelier
Yeah.
abstained, and Amani Latimer Burris recused herself for some reason. I think she meant to say she was going to abstain. And then Barbara Harrington McKinney actually left before the vote. She was the other one who's expected to vote now. She actually left before the vote because of a procedural issue that she took issue with. So it ended up passing after some debate. There was
and some comments, right?
a lot of public comment in favor of it. Some one person said, I think you should vote against this because it's not enough. Some people said you should vote against this because there was not due process. These weren't investigated. In fact, they were investigated. Isidore Knox made the point that, we're not the ones who should be judging this. The voters should judge.
They'll get their chance to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, exactly. And Nazra Wahelier, her point was that I believe these women. Women aren't believed, but also Black men aren't believed. And she made the point that a couple of years ago, there was a code of conduct that was introduced as an idea and that didn't actually go anywhere. And she was saying, had we approved that code of conduct, we wouldn't be here because that would have applied to the situation.
Yeah.
So there was more of a process grounds for her. So, and some other people, and again, were commenting that law enforcement should be involved, and why isn't there more? Why isn't the police investigating?
There are lots of reasons why.
Yeah,
including, on some level, a victim has to come forward in recent times.
Yes,
for something to start.
Right, exactly. So it was a very long night. But in the end, like I said, it passed with a 13-2 vote. There was a couple absences, and several abstentions, as I mentioned. But and that's it. I mean, that's kind of it now as far as city council goes.
It doesn't have to be it, though.
Right.
Because if there's a concern that there's no way for them to remove somebody who is currently in office doing that kind of harm, why isn't the next step a conversation about how we implement a process to do so?
Well, I should say, I'm glad you said that, because when I say that's it, it's related to Charles specifically. However, because of this, council leadership has asked the city attorney to lay out a process, like how would we remove a member if we had to? We should mention this is the first time ever that Madison Common Council has censured a member. So they've never even faced the issue of having to remove a member. So they would kind of ask the city attorney, like, how would we do that
to begin with?
Right, if we had to. So that is actually happening, and that will continue to happen. That's going to be an executive committee thing. That's not. I don't even think they could adopt it just as policy, which wouldn't really require a vote, or they could adopt it as ordinance, which would require a vote. And it sounds like it's going to be basically a judicial-ish process, and it is laid out in state statute, but there's not a lot of detail there.
Yeah.
So that is the thing that will continue to come up, probably, unless they decide.
I would say unless what? Unless they let it run it out.
Unless they decide, okay, we're done with Charles now.
We don't
let's
have to
not worry
worry
about it anymore.
Yeah.
I will say the other thing that Charles told me on Sunday that he hadn't said previously is that he's not going to run again. He's not going to resign, as people have asked him to do. But he basically said, I'm tired of defending myself. You want me out, you win. Yeah.
So many faces in this room.
Like I've been saying, I definitely could have won the Alder position on the north side if I still lived there. I mean, it's unopposed now.
Is it unopposed?
Well, there's no incumbent.
Oh yeah.
But Carmela Glenn is running.
Yeah, you could run. You can't run against Carmela.
Well, I don't live on the north side anymore.
Oh, that's right.
So
what things could have been? How things could have been different?
I could
How our
have
worlds could
been
have been different
at those long, boring meetings on Tuesdays.
Mhm.
Sometimes going to 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah. That was last one wasn't that late, but it was pretty.
It was. I mean, it was midnight when I left.
Yeah.
and they were still going for a
Yeah.
while after that. They still
So
had
it got
some
close.
other business to tend to. I think it probably would have gone at least to one. Yeah, I mean, and if, like we said, Kamala Glenn is running for that seat, I think the signatures, you can start collecting signatures in January if you want to
Mhm.
run. So like, folks can still jump into that race, and it'll happen in April.
Mhm.
So Charles Myadze will be in that seat for about 4 more months, and then it'll be somebody else.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and move into our next story.
Yeah, this is Omar has been covering this. Has it been like a year since you've been covering Crushin' It?
September 2023. So
Oh.
over a year.
Yeah.
The Department of Justice, the Wisconsin Joint Finance Committee approved the Department of Justice settlement against Crushin It Apparel for their refusal to pay employees
Mhm.
after a different ruling. It's been going on. There's a lot of people that's been ruling on this, that the
For-
guy, the owner
Keeps appealing.
of
Yeah.
Crushin It Apparel, which is in Columbus, Wisconsin, needs to pay workers after firing them all for attempting to unionize over unsafe working conditions. Back in November 22, that's how far back this is going, workers voted to unionize immediately after they were all fired, which, if you don't know about unionizing, extremely illegal.
Not just a little bit over the line. That's
It's,
just entirely illegal.
it's outright illegal.
Yeah.
It's one of the few very clear-cut things in this,
They're very clear about it. Yes.
which is retaliation over
Mhm.
against organizing activities. So the workers' union and Worker Justice Wisconsin filed over 20 complaints with the National Labor Review Board, and they naturally did rule in favor for the workers to pay all these employees all these back wages after firing them, reinstate them, benefits, and any financial issues that incurred over it. Later in the year, in April, the Department of Justice ruled on behalf of the Department of Workforce Development that Jeremy Kruk, the owner of Crushin It Apparel, needs to pay this after, much longer. And now, just today, the Wisconsin Joint Finance Committee is now also telling them to pay it. So
They're just gonna be like, no, just pay.
Could you remind us that there was like a name change, or he was trying to pretend that it was a new business or something?
Yes.
That's right.
Right?
He tried to be like, psych, that's not me.
Basically. So after all the rulings came down, the initial rulings, he decided to close the business and put the business under someone else, a former employee of his, in Thunder Bay Apparel. Exact same location, exact same building. If my memory is correct, there was still some Thunder Bay stuff on the actual building.
Oh my gosh.
Not Thunder Bay. Crushin It Apparel stuff
There's still
on
like
the
their
actual
logo.
building.
They didn't even try to.
And when we were writing about it earlier, Jeremy Kruk said, "We're going to sue you. I'm going to sue you if you guys say that I'm the owner of this company." Which
Public records will show.
you can't just put it under someone else's name, because that's
Yeah.
not how that works. You still have to pay the settlement.
Yeah.
And now multiple
Agencies
are telling them, "Come on, man,
And
pay these people."
Yeah.
it's not even a huge amount. It's like $8,000 plus interest, right?
$8,230.71. That was the number back before, and then plus interest. I'm figuring out what the plus interest amount is,
Oh, sure.
but it's not like
No.
a breaking amount of money. It's a significant sum for the
For the
8
workers.
employees.
Yeah.
But come on, pay these people.
Well, this guy just needs to be right for whatever. And you know what? Don't worry about it. Just pay you're not right in this. There's no right in this. Good.
He is now listed as the sales manager under Thunder Bay. So his ruse to avoid paying
has not worked.
I think he just dropped it.
All right, that didn't work. So we're
Okay.
test something else.
He might also change his name back next year.
I might go back to that.
Honestly,
Uh-huh.
if he's paying the money and he loves the name Crushin It Apparel,
Just go back to crushing it.
Uh-huh. Just go back. Sir, you're not crushing it. Maybe that's why he changed the name, because he was no longer crushing it.
There's nothing to be crushed here.
now he's thunderous in a bay.
Mm.
But that's happening. Maybe there will be more updates to that.
Yeah.
Who knows if he'll actually pay it? Possibly more to come.
He has 20 days, right? Something like that.
That sounds right. But
Yeah.
before he had 14 days and then he had a month.
It was like many months ago,
Yes.
right?
And it's been 2.5 years in total now. So who knows what 20 days means, really?
Right.
We'll see.
Well, we'll stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. And there's one other thing you were going to mention before we go, and that is an event Friday.
Yes. Next Friday on the 20th,
Yep.
the Black Men Coalition is hosting their now annual gala, the Revitalized Gala, which is going to celebrate all the work they've been doing over the year, which is a lot. They've done a whole lot, from free Ivy League education to housing, putting on a play with a lot of notable names, another great year for their youth softball team, and basically just doubling their overall impact. And now they are hosting their annual gala to invite the community out to celebrate as they look forward to the next year and raise more funds. Next year, they will actually be shooting a movie. So,
Are you kidding? I
That's
didn't know about
awesome.
yeah,
that.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
More details to come, but it is called The
KKK.
Right Way. I assume it's going to be in line with all the other stuff,
Mhm.
but
Uh-huh.
And their founder and CEO, Corey Marinu, was our nonprofit leader of the year, right? In our
Yep.
Community
This
Choice
past year,
Awards.
yep.
And he's doing great work, as always.
absolutely. Those tickets are on sale right now. It is $150 for general admission to the
Mhm.
gala, but if you want to come to the after party, $1.
Nice.
Shell out a buck, come to the
Cool.
Edgewater Hotel
Mhm.
and party a little bit with the people.
All right, and we'll link to that in the show notes. We're gonna take a short pause, and when we come back, we'll finish with our roundtable question. Attention, sales professionals! Are you ready to make a real impact? Join the 365 Media Foundation team right here in Madison. We're looking for a passionate, driven, nonprofit media sales representative to connect businesses with meaningful advertising and sponsorship opportunities. You'll manage an established book of business, build new client relationships, and help amplify the voices of underrepresented communities. If you have a proven track record in sales and love making connections, this is your chance to align your talents with a mission-driven organization. Apply today by sending your resume and cover letter to jobs@madison365.org. That's jobs@madison365.org. Be part of something bigger. Make your next career move count with 365 Media Foundation.
Okay, so I'm a little upset by that clap. It wasn't strong.
I missed a little bit.
You missed your hand.
My aim between my hands is not always
Oh
true.
my God.
I know it's
Should we all try clapping?
3, 2,
Two,
1.
one.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounded
Oh,
nice.
We
I
all
like-
actually did it at the same time.
We did. Some of us have rhythm.
For people who don't know, when you pause and you need to mark in your audio a spot to cut, you clap so that it makes a little spike on the visual.
Yes.
So that's why I clapped, and it did not satisfy Stephanie's standards.
I feel like the theme of today is just men are wrong. That clap was also incorrect. Sorry, Rob.
It's fair.
I've
Honestly.
never been wrong in my life.
I mean, your elbows are wrong.
Never mind.
I mean, look, we have a standard that I would like us all to be held to, and I share that with everyone. If my clap was wrong,
Mhm.
I would redo it myself. I would call it out. I'd be like, I have made a mistake, y'all. We got to do this again. And I may need support. I would ask for help. Rob didn't even ask us for help. We were all like, let's just do it all together. And we did amazing.
We did it, yes.
We did, everybody.
We did it as a team.
We did, which goes right into my
Speaking of-
question.
Oh.
Cannot be the answer. So don't cheat.
Clapping exercise.
So, if y'all could pick any sort of version or experience with whatever you've ever had with this team building exercise for each and every one of us who work with Madison 365 Media, which one would it be? It could be anything. Personality test.
Rage room.
That's a good one.
I know. I was
Rage-
gonna say laser tag, but I just remembered the
Mhm.
rage room that we've covered before after
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
going through this and remembering last year's things. There's a rage room in Milwaukee.
There is.
It's one of the only few in
Oh,
the general Wisconsin-ish
Space.
area where we're at right now.
Mhm.
We should go there. We should go break things.
And do it as a team.
Sure.
Yeah. Just don't break each other.
Sure.
No.
That's the goal.
That's the rule. Don't hit each other.
Yeah.
All right, Rodlin.
I love a personality test. I would love to know everyone's Enneagram
Uh-huh.
and how we all chart each other. But also, I feel like an escape room could be fun.
That's
but
my
also,
answer.
I'm not good at them.
I think it
so
would be hilarious to see us like who gets frustrated
I feel like we would just sit down
and who
talk,
has to
you
win.
know?
Yeah. So like who would be like, we're gonna sit over here.
Yeah.
You are all doing great.
I'm so bad at them.
I'm amazing at them.
I was gonna say, I don't
Maybe you
feel
should
Stephanie's
sit
very
down.
good at
And that's
Escape
I'll
room.
because
go sit down.
yeah, because I'll take charge and assign people roles. And like, yours might be like, go get us snacks.
Okay, I could do that.
I've never been in an escape room because I'm not going to pay money to escape.
That's fair.
I'm not going to pay money for someone to lock me in a room.
Yeah.
Like,
I can do that for free.
Yeah.
I already pay rent.
All right, Rob, which one would you like to see?
I don't really know. Maybe paintball wars or something like that.
No.
But I think we need to trust fall and catch each other. I think that'd be-
Oh,
I
no,
need to
let's
catch
do
Omar.
paintball.
I don't trust any of you.
Straight up, I don't even trust you, and I'm married to you. Like I wouldn't. Like I've never done a trust fall. I don't trust nobody.
So paintball?
Yeah.
So paintball,
I'm trying to be all. I would like us to do trust falls to show that we
That's
care.
so mean, girls.
I know.
maybe we could all just go camping or something.
No, let's not go here.
Oh.
No.
That'd be a fun. You know when they do like an episode that's like out of the sitcom like set. That would be our episode.
We all go camping, in which one of us like disappears.
Yeah, something bad.
It's going to be me.
It's good. No, you're gonna go for like you're gonna go actually on the hike with him and get lost.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to a spa. Who would like to?
Where is
I-
the spa?
It depends on where they're going. We can find a spa anywhere.
Well, you go to like Mirror Lake or Devil's Lake. Wisconsin Dells is right there.
Oh yeah.
Nice spot there.
Yeah, we can go to Sundara. There you go.
I've also never been camping, but I am definitely into glamping. So
So he's just letting you know.
Yeah.
Like this is the standard for which you have to take him with.
Mhm. You'll bring a generator
Mhm.
for your television and your heated blanket.
He's like,
I have a
again,
conspiracy theory.
what's your conspiracy
What's that?
theory?
That's it.
This is getting. We're turning left.
Big camping and
What?
big camping is conspiring to make you pay money to not live in your home.
I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think it's just the business model.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like REI is
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and Patagonia and all those.
All
they're,
those things.
they're in it with BlackRock.
Mountain House.
It's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Mm.
There it is.
They just want you out. Get out of your homes.
Freeze dried food is expensive, and that's it's all marked up.
Is it?
It's corporate greed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty sure
I get.
it's-
I didn't know that either. What? So wait, are we spending too much money on freeze dried food? Why are you spending so much money on freeze dried food? You're
Because
because what?
Likes to feel like an astronaut.
Is it 'cause you want to be-
Oh my
Do you want one of
God.
those space pens?
it's light and easy to carry in your kayak.
He has a point.
just
Points were made.
just make your own food and take it with you and try it. Try it out yourself. You can try out your own food. I believe in you.
Okay, I'll try it.
He
But
goes,
you need an actual machine, a specialized freeze dryer for that.
Which would probably be more expensive than just buying the freeze dried food.
It
Yeah.
pays for
it
itself
actually, or it would
eventually.
be just fine, and Rob would just overdo it. That's the other problem.
Maybe like a
Like Rob would totally like turn it into something, and every week we'd get snacks that were like dried and freeze dried and everything.
Yep.
No, Rob goes in, and when he goes in, he goes all in. We have like 40 pumpkins still
Oh my
on a porch.
Did you make pumpkin wine?
No, I made pumpkin pie and pumpkin soup and pumpkin cake.
Wow.
Uh-huh. When he goes in, I said he goes all the way in. So if anyone would like a
40
pumpkin,
pumpkins? 40 pumpkins.
What?
That's
How many
overstating it. There's like
pumpkins?
10.
That's
Okay.
so way too many.
10 are like the regular size ones or bigger. Then there's like little ones too.
They're children.
That's a lot of pumpkins.
He has too many pumpkins. Still.
The pumpkins were prolific this year.
Just like every year.
All right, friends, we'll be back next week.
Have a good weekend.